Well, hello good people. Today I wanted to go over a few updates from my last video. Invoke AI has made a lot of improvements for Flux support, all the way from 5.1 to 5.5. We're going to focus mostly on those Flux updates. There's quite a bit to cover, so let's get started. Now, first off, let's go into our model manager here on the left. And the easiest way to install Flux models is to go into the Starter Model tab here. You should now see a section here called Starter Bundles, and there's a button here for all the Flux models, control nets, IP adapter, text encoders. You pretty much have everything you need to get started with Flux. Now you would simply just click on this button here and it'll start downloading. Anything to do with Flux will be highlighted in this yellow color, or you could simply just click on the plus buttons here to install them. Now to run Flux requires quite a bit of VRAM. If you have a 12 gigabyte GPU or more, you should be fine to run these quantized versions. If you have like a 3090, 4090 with 24 gigabytes of RAM, you should be able to run the full Flux Dev and Schnell models. And the other thing I wanted to mention as well, if we scroll down towards the bottom, you'll see the T5 encoders for Flux, the clip L as well. You want to download the appropriate one for you. I'm using the FP8 version. It's only 5 gigabytes. Again, depending on your VRAM, you might want to use this one or the full one at 8 gigabytes, right? Now, as far as using the text encoder, make sure you use these ones and install it directly. If you try to download them manually and upload them, it's not going to work. So you got to use these ones. And then you'll also find the VAE you need right here. Now, don't mind that it says Schnell. It works for Dev as well. It's just the way they labeled it. You could even rename it if you want. Also, if you find that if the models are failing to download, you can do it manually directly from Invoke AI's site. So if that happens to you, what I would recommend is you go into the Hugging Face page. If you don't have an account, make sure to sign up. Once you sign up, follow the link that I'm going to leave in the description below. Scroll down and you'll find Flux Schnell and Flux Dev. Now if we click on Flux Dev here and then we go under Files, under the folder Transformer, you'll have both the standard base model here or the NF4 quantized version. So if we click on the base one, you'll see the main model here just under 24 gigabytes. And then the NF4 version here, we see it's only 6.7 gigabytes. You can go ahead and download that. And then back in the model manager here, you want to install it via URL or local path. You would just paste in your path. It would look something like that. This is just a general path that I had copied and pasted earlier. Or you can go into scan folder, paste in your path here, and click scan folder to install those models from a specific hard drive. The other way you can do this is going to the Hugging Face tab, and here it says it requires the Hugging Face repo ID. And how that works is that you'll see a little copy button here. You just have to click on copy there. Come back under the model manager, Hugging Face tab, paste that repo in there, click on install repo. Now if there are multiple files to download, it will list them below here, and you just have to pick the ones you want to install. Now I will say if you have a GPU like me with 8 gigabytes or less, you may be limited in terms of what you can do with Invoke AI currently. They are working on better VRAM optimization, but I find personally that I can only run the Q3 gguf models, so that's also another option. It does support the gguf models for Flux. Again, link in the description below. The next Flux improvement they made was support for Flux Loras. That's pretty much how I made these Final Fantasy characters. Now if we take a look at my settings here, I've got Flux Dev, 25 steps. Under concept, let's say we're going to create Tifa Lockhart here. We can input the weight. I believe 0.8 is a good starting point for this particular Lora. I'm going to use a similar prompt here, except with a white background, and we'll just generate one image. And there you go. Not a great pose. Obviously, I would generate more to get some better results. Now, the great thing about Invoke AI is that you can set up your Loras with a trigger word if it requires it. And what I mean by that is if you go to the Lora page, if you download it from Civit AI, for example, on the right here, you'll see trigger words. So if I have a trigger word here, I'm going to copy it. We'll go back in our model manager here and filter it for LoRa's. I'm going to find the LoRa here. And then we're simply going to click on it. You'll see a field here for trigger phrases. So I can paste that trigger phrase in here, click on add, and then we can do multiple ones if we wanted to. But now when I go into my prompt area here, we click on the add prompt trigger button here. You see that we have the trigger phrase. We simply click on that to add it to our prompt so that it triggers the LoRa for this particular character. So that's a very useful way to use LoRa's within Invoke AI. Now here's an example of using the Boreal V2 LoRa that I quite often like to use for people. Gives it more of a natural look. So all in all, it should work for most LoRa's. What it doesn't work with currently are like the Flux Turbo or Hyper LoRa's at the moment, but I do hear that they are working on supporting that very soon. Now the next update has been long awaited, and that's support for Controlnet for Flux. Once again, if you go to the starter models area, you'll find IP-Adapter for Flux. The one they're currently using is from XLabs. You can download it from the starter bundle here or manually install it, and I'll show you the page in just a minute. If we scroll further down, you'll find Flux Controlnet Union. This is the controlnet that has multiple controlnet functions like depth, canny, scribble, and so on. And you'll also find the ones from Black Forest Labs, canny, and depth. There is no support for Flux Redux or Flux Fill in painting just yet, but that's soon to come. Now, if you want to install them manually, this is the Controlnet Union one from Instant X. And you would just simply go under Files, scroll down a bit, and you'll see it here at 6.6 gigabytes. Now you might want to rename it to Controlnet Union. And then for the IP adapter for XLabs, you want to click on this one for V2. And we'll do the same thing, go under Files, and you'll see it here at 1.06 gigabytes. You want to download that as well and install it like you normally would. I'm going to show you some quick examples on how to use it, more in-depth tutorials to come. But basically, I have an asset here, and we're going to work in the canvas here. So I'm going to close the viewer here. We're simply going to drag and drop this into new control layer. Got to adjust my bounding box here. We're going to right click, transform, fill, fit to box. And then under the layers tab, you see we have a layer for control layer. We're going to simply select Controlnet Union. On the right side, you'll see the filter button. We'll click that. Then we can select the preprocessor here. So let's try depth anything. Click on process, and it's going to create our depth map. We're simply going to apply this. And then you'll see the settings for it. So our weight is at 0.75. We'll leave it, but you can set it to whatever you want. And then you have your begin and end step. It's also at 75, and basically what this does is that it'll generate using the ControlNet 75% of the way, and the rest of the way it'll allow it a little bit of creative freedom. So we'll just use the standard dev model here and generate this image. And as you can see, it's used the depth map to create this image. Picks up the hands pretty well, and it could yield some really great results. Now I did want to point out, let me delete this first. If you use the Black Forest Labs version, let's look at the depth one here. You'll notice that there's only a weight slider. There's no beginning to end. So that's one difference between the two control nets. It works just as well. It's just you have no control with the beginning and end step, at least at the time recording this video. Now in terms of IP adapter, it works the same way as SDXL. We're going to drag it into new global reference image. So under layers, you'll see it has the same controls, weight and beginning and step. We'll leave it at 1 just to kind of exaggerate it here. And this time, let's use an 85% begin and end step. We'll still use the standard Flux dev and create an image here. And here's the result of the generation. We look at the original reference image and compare it to our results. It's adopted a lot of the style and elements of that reference image, even though the prompt is totally different. The next update was also something requested quite a bit, at least on my channel. So if we click on add layer here, you see that now we can do regional guidance with Flux. I'm not going to get into regional guidance because I have a dedicated video for that. I cover the basics on getting started with regional guidance. Make sure to check it out here. Basically works the same way as the SDXL version, except now you can use it with Flux. Now there has been a lot more updates added to Invoke AI, like SD 3.5 support, object selection via SAM. I'll be creating separate videos for those topics, but in the meantime, until the next video, I'll see you when I see you.